Hi, I'm Mash Punigala, brand strategist at Spellbrand. We're in the middle of a great kind of global crisis, right? The pandemic, the resulting kind of economic um, down spiral that's happening and that's going to happen. So I get a lot of questions these days from clients, from YouTube viewers, from on LinkedIn about whether it's a good idea to start a business now and whether it's even possible to start a business now, whether it's a good idea to put time and effort into starting a business during a crisis. Now, my answer to these questions is that it is a great time to start a business during a crisis, and that's because it's not about taking advantage of the crisis, but rather about adding to the solution pool of the crisis, because this crisis is really changing our kind of mindset. It's changing business models. It's almost rewriting landscapes in terms of business and how things are done. Questioning the status quo is going to be the norm of the future. This pandemic has really shown us the weak points in our society, in the way we do things, the way we consume things, in terms of entertainment, in terms of goods, also in terms of how we are working. Uh, just, I think it was last week or maybe a couple of weeks back, I was reading about how I think it's Barclay Bank, the CEO of that, was saying that it doesn't make sense now to put 7,000 people in a building, in an office building, and running a business because remote working is becoming a reality. People are seeing the advantages of remote working, and with the technology is also trying to move and try and catch up. Zoom, of course, is thriving, but Zoom is enabling us to sort of use remote working. And as time goes by, 2020, 2021, we're going to get more and more ways, tools, software, hardware to enable us to work remotely. Now, in a situation like this, and even after the pandemic sort of dies down, hopefully, and there's a vaccine that combats the virus, this I think it's safe to assume that this is not the first kind of global crisis, pandemic that we're going to face. This is not going to be the end. As Bill Gates was saying in one of his videos ages ago, it's a TEDx talk. We're going to be seeing more and more of these kind of viruses that are mutating, that are really sort of, really finding the weak points in human kind of immune system. So as these as humanity is going to face more and more of these viruses, our way of working is going to change. The way we commute, the way we work in offices, everything is going to change. So it's a good time now to really question the status quo and think of business ideas, business models that would work in the new kind of norm, in the new kind of landscape. Now, of course, I hear a lot of people saying that, yeah, once the vaccine comes about, we go back to our normal kind of life. People are going to forget this, right? Forget remote working. People are, I don't think so. Because people have seen a brief window, they're still seeing it, a brief window during which work-life balance has become kind of a very important factor, right? So people working from home have been able to see this new paradigm, this new focus where you can kind of work and also have a quality life. Work, work, work is not the mantra anymore. Hopefully, it seems like that. And even if people go back to the usual old ways, I think they're going to miss this. They're already missing it. And there was a survey done recently, and apparently only 9% of people want to go back to the old life. Even after 6 months, after a year, I don't think people would forget. Yeah, well, the last crisis, 2008, the global financial crisis, people were saying the same things, like, it's going to change the landscape. People are not going to spend as they were. They're going to be saving more, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, none of those really, in fact, global credit, global purchases, and all these went up, since 2008. But I think this one is a little different because this is not just about spending. This is about the way of life. This is about the way we work. And people are asking why. Why should we work the way we were working before? So anyway, let's get back to the question, which is, could we, number one, should we start a business now? Yes, absolutely. Even if you have a job, I think now is the time to start a business. And if you're an entrepreneur, then yeah, now is the time to start a new business, or take a hard look at your existing business, whether it's been affected by the pandemic, the lockdown, and all these things, or not, right? Even if you're thriving, take a hard look, question the status quo, and look at the opportunities that will present as we come out of the lockdown, as people go back to their normal lives. What areas can we sort of look to so that we improve lifestyle, right? So that we improve lives, we change the way things are done. Uber, for example, it changed the kind of public transport landscape, right? Now that was disruptive. Now, I'm not talking just about disruptive kind of ideas, but also non-disruptive ideas, new landscapes, new kind of ways of doing things without necessarily disrupting, and people losing jobs and all that. So yes, it is a great time to start a business. And how should one go about doing this? I think the first thing is to really go through a kind of a utility map scenario, right? In one of my previous videos, I did a utility map analysis, and I will link to it below. Check that out. It's nothing but looking at an existing kind of market segment, checking on the things, analyzing the things that the competitors, the competition is focusing on, looking at the pain points, not only pain points of the sector in general, but also pain points now due to this pandemic and the lockdown, but also in the future as compared to the kind of potential that people would want to, right? Take a look at that and see where there are gaps, where you could sort of come up with a business idea and, sort of get into a blue ocean, so to speak. Yeah, it's not an easy question. It's not an easy question to answer. There's no magic bullet. How should we go about starting a business? That's not really a kind of a formula. It doesn't have a formula, right? It's not that simple. But what is simple though is really changing your mindset, changing the way you look at things. And I think you can get into this mindset where you're questioning the landscape, you're questioning the status quo, you're questioning your business, your market segment, your competitors, and trying to find ideas and business solutions that would probably work in an ideal kind of new future where people don't want to work in offices that they have to commute to an hour a day or 2 hours, or even driving, or they don't want to be working all the time, right? So yeah, if you were hoping for an answer, a simple answer where I say, okay, here is what you need to do to start a business. I mean, there are tons of information out there to start a business, but this video is not just about starting a new business, but this is about trying to help you think new, right? Think about new solutions, think about new kind of opportunities, and questioning the status quo. So yeah, I mean, if you have any questions about this, if you are in the process of starting a business and you're thinking, should I not? Just leave a comment below, and I will try and offer my 2 cents. If you are an entrepreneur and you have a business idea and you want someone experienced to sort of take a look at your business idea and say, is it a good idea? Does it really check the boxes for being a path to the blue ocean, or is it an idea that might not work, in 2021? Whatever. Just schedule a call with me, okay? A one-on-one strategy call, a video call, and I will do some research, and then we can get on a call and we can try and see if your business idea really holds water, right? A one-on-one kind of consultation. I will leave a link below also. So yeah, I mean, this was a little bit of an off the topic kind of video today. I usually talk about branding and all that. Today I wanted to really talk about the mindset for starting a business and why, yes, it is a good time to start a business. Don't be afraid. Go for it, right? But of course, do it strategically. Work out the best way to disrupt or non-disrupt a market segment and all that. Okay, hope you liked it. Till my next video, take care.